where you only compete against yourself. I'll be giving a brief explanation of how to use Zoom, which is the session that we're using to have this meeting tonight. First, in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you'll see a microphone that says mute. If you are not the speaker, please use this so you don't interrupt them as they speak. Second, you'll see a stop video button. This you'll use if you need to have a snack or leave your computer for any reason. But when you return, please share video so we can see your lovely smiles. And of course, we have the chat. If you click on this button, it'll open the chat window where you can type the entire room, or by clicking on this down arrow, you can choose a particular person, such as one of our speakers, and leave them a note of encouragement, something that you really enjoyed about their speech, or something that you saw that you think that could make it even better the next time. Lastly, it's our policy by participating in our meeting, you agree that a recording will be available publicly on our YouTube channel, website, and other public media. See that our president has not quite joined us yet, so I will take the presiding officer position at this time, and I'll go around the room and have each of you introduce yourself. Tell me if this is your first time at a Toastmaster meeting, or if you are a Toastmaster, how long have you been a Toastmaster? And I'll start with myself. My name is Tricia Grow, and I live near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And in 2 months, I'll be celebrating my second year as a Toastmaster. Next, I will call on Nick.
Thank you, Madam President, standing today. My name is Nick. I'm coming from England, and it's nice and sunny over here, as you can see, the sun shining on me. And because it is different timing right now, so what I'm actually been a member for Toastmasters for 2.5 years now. I'm president of my bricks and mortar club. I belong to a couple of other clubs as well online, which I really love. And today I just wanted to share with you that it's always good to communicate, even if we think that, oh, well, I'm sure somebody's told them. Well, perhaps somebody hasn't told them that the clocks have changed. So always tell, always say. Okay? Thank you. Back to you, Madam President, Presiding Officer.
Thank you. I don't mind. You can call me President. I'm sorry, like that. Next, I will ask Carrie. Carrie, would you please introduce yourself?
Harry, Las Vegas, Nevada. Started in, what was it, 1969. And didn't get my first DTM until, but I got my second one in Yugoslavia. And the other DTMs I have, I got in front of a copy machine. So, oh, I'm in Las Vegas. Okay. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Harry.
Do you realize that you were a president?
I've been a president, yes.
Well, I was thinking of Hillary.
Oh. Okay, next I will ask Isabel to introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Isabel from Ellicott City, Maryland. Well, I want to thank Kenan. I don't know whether Kenan is here. He sent out a reminder to everybody about the time change. I really appreciate that. Back to you.
Thank you. And then next we'll go to JaMarr. JaMarr, would you please introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is. Ooh, this is echo. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better.
Great. My name is JaMarr Johnson. I am in Los Angeles, California. I am the president of my brick and mortar club called Coach Masters in Culver City. And I'm actually on my way to the division level of the International World Championship of Public Speaking. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm getting as many repetitions as possible so that I can perfect my craft as a professional public speaker. Thank you.
That's amazing. Good luck on your contest. All right, and then I will ask, is it Safwan?
Thanks. Hi guys, my name is Safwan. I'm from New York City, and I've been a member of this club for, this is my third meeting, so I want to say 3 weeks. And I've been to a few meetings in person in New York, but I prefer the flexibility that online clubs offer. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our guest, Nisar, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Nisar Mir. I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana, and this is my first time I joined this club, online Toastmaster Club, and I'm very excited and very happy to be here. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Well, we're very happy that you were able to join us tonight. Next, I will ask William Thomas to please introduce himself.
Thank you, Madam Acting President. Fellow Toastmasters, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is William Thomas. I am from Hollywood, Florida, originally born in Dothan, Alabama. I'm your Assistant Vice President of Membership. Back to you, Madam Acting President.
Thank you so much, William. And then I will ask Matt Smiddle. Would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Matt Smiddle. I live in Georgia, and I'm glad to be here. I almost didn't make it tonight, though. I remembered we had a meeting about 30 minutes ago. I'm glad I made it, though. Madam Toastmaster, or Sergeant at Arms, sorry.
That's okay. I'm wearing lots of hats today, so whatever you want to call me. Next, we have Kanan. Kanan, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Kannan Shankara. I am from Baltimore, Maryland. Welcome everyone with the daylight saving. Back to you, Madam Acting President, Sergeant at Arms, and Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have one of our newest members, Rainey. Rainey, would you please introduce yourself? Are you there, Rainey? Okay, maybe we'll come back to her later. So it's my pleasure at this time is to introduce our Toastmaster of the day, who is our lovely Isadora Kadori. Please help me welcome Isabel.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tricia. Thank you for taking up so many roles. You're always the Tricia, a marvelous leader wearing many hats. My fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests, welcome. I'm excited to be the Toastmaster of the day. Our theme today is the spring season. After a long winter, most of us would like to plan many outdoor activities. But one thing I don't like is the daylight savings time. I'm so glad that our members all over the world will be able to adjust the time change so quickly. And thanks again, Canon, for sending out the notice about the time change. Our meeting has 3 parts. The first part is prepared speeches. Before we get into the speech section, I would like to call our facilitators to introduce their roles. Let's first start with our inspiration. Adrian Pearson, competent communicator. Adrian, please share an inspirational quote. Adrian. Is Adrian here?
I don't see her yet.
No, I don't see her yet. And also, she's supposed to be topic master as well.
Oh, yeah.
So Do you want to wait a couple of, because we are early, do you want to kick off at 1 o'clock with the introductions, and it gives us 2 or 3 minutes to see if we can reallocate some of the roles, please, Isabel.
Okay, sounds a good idea.
Madam,
What about?
excuse me, Madam Toastmaster. If our table topics master does not show up, are we more than happy to step in?
Oh, that's great. William, you are doing.
And this is William.
You will be doing the table topics twice in a row, right? I remember you.
Yes.
Thank you for. I think
no problem.
I would suggest let's maybe let's.
If you want to let someone else, that's perfectly fine. I'm just saying, if there's no one else who wants to do it, I am willing to step in.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Can I give one suggestion here? Table topics will come little later. So after the prepared speaker.
Yeah, we can wait for a little bit. If Adrian shows up, we will have Adrian do the table time. Otherwise, William will back up. Yeah. That's okay. My suggestion is, since I think maybe many more participants will show up just a few minutes later. So to make good use of time, does anybody have a good joke to share? In my brick and mortar club, we usually start the meeting with a joke. So may I ask a volunteer to tell us a joke? Nick? You have a good
I've got one. Madam Toastmaster. Okay, so I have one. My next door neighbors, they're quite new, got to know them, and they're lovely people. And unfortunately, they're not going to be happy when they find out that they've actually made a sex tape. It's on the internet now. No? Okay, they're not.
That's a little weird, but okay.
Sorry,
right.
Nick, I was reading the chat to find out who are the role takers, so I did not pay attention. Thank you. Anybody?
Right. No, it wasn't very good. Sorry.
Anybody else have a joke?
I have a joke, Madam
Okay.
Toastmaster, if you want to hear it.
Please share with us.
Okay. Joke is this. I was with a friend of mine's, and he says to me, "You see that young lady at the bar, at the end of the bar?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I bet you I can get her number." He takes off his wedding ring, goes up to her, and says, "Hello, beautiful. Where have you been all my life?" You know what she says to him? "I'm sorry. I don't date older men."
That's a good joke. Who else have a joke? Kenan, do you have a joke?
Yeah, I can tell. No problem. If others are not having a joke, I have a joke. But my joke is placed in New York, okay, because everybody is talking about different, so let us talk about New York, okay? You know how New York, William, can you put yourself on mute, please?
I'm not.
Put yourself on mute. Thank you. Because you are breathing on that mic, that's why. Okay. In New York, there was an accident. A taxi driver and a priest, a pastor, got into accident. Unfortunately, they're dead. They are going to heaven. They're near the heaven. There's a gate there. Normally, what happens is they will inquire. I think there is a gentleman, I'm not sure the name, that a person inquire whether based on your deeds, he will tell you whether you go to the heaven or to the hell. First, pastor came. Pastor, he gave a silver spoon and said that you have to spend some time on the hell, then you will go to heaven. Then the taxi driver from New York went. He immediately said, you are going to heaven directly. Immediately, the pastor was shocked. Pastor asked the person who is in charge, how am I going to hell to spend some time, whereas you sent the taxi driver directly to heaven? To that, the God replied, when pastor is conducting the sermon, most of the people were sleeping. They were not concentrating on the God. Whereas when Newark driver is driving, the people who are in his cab always thinking about God, God, I should go safely. God, please make sure that I reach safely. I reach safely. So that's why that New York taxi driver was sent to heaven. This is a joke based on the New York taxi driving. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. That is a good joke. I think I have to think about a joke too. This is a joke about a frog. So one day a frog was feeling really depressed. So he decided to go visit a fortune teller. So the fortune teller looked at the crystal ball and told the frog, "Frog, you are going to meet a beautiful young woman, and she wants to know everything about you." So the frog was so excited and said, "Yay, that's my good fortune." Then the fortune teller continues that, "However, the sad part is you are going to meet her in a biology class."
Okay. I like it.
Thank you. Who is next? Let me call someone. Robbing joke telling. Matt, do you have a joke to share with us? Matt?
No, I have a riddle.
Okay.
What is black? What is black and white and red all over? A newspaper. Red, R-E-D. Red, R-E-A-D.
Did you already told us the answer in newspaper?
What's that?
Okay, I'm thinking you already told us the answer, right?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay. Well, I cannot think that fast.
Yeah, I think it is 8-2. We can start.
So let's start now.
Yeah, 8-2.
Okay. Let me just do a quick check. Looks like Adrian's not here. So may I ask a volunteer for inspiration? Who has an inspiration?
I can give something for inspiration.
Okay, great. Thank you, JaMarr. Please.
So we're facing very difficult times here in America from a political spectrum. And there is a presidential candidate named Marianne Williamson, who I have been paying close attention to because she says that the antidote for hate is love. And one of her favorite leaders of the 21st century is Dr. Martin Luther King, who has a saying that when there is injustice for one, there is injustice for all. And so as we move forward as a society, not just on a national level, but on a world level, let's look to find ways as much as possible to love one another, to empathize with one another, and bring justice for all. Because as Martin Luther King once said, the long arc of indifference eventually bends towards justice. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. That was very inspirational. Next, we have our accountant, Aaron. Aaron, would you please introduce your role?
Thank you very much, though. Fellow Toastmaster and most distinguished guests, my name is Aaron, and I am the accountant for today. Accountant report is basically capturing and noticing all the unnecessary connectives that may link up to your presentation. The reason why we have to actually keep track of the accounts is because we want to make your speech as fluent as possible so that it can smoother, just like the artwork. You want to make it perfect, and when we actually add some filler words or connectives, we're actually adding the imperfectness in there. So we want to make you as perfect as possible. That's why this role exists. I will be doing the report at the end of the meeting. Back to you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to have a grammarian. May I have a volunteer for grammarian?
I think Swanda wanted to be the grammarian, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you.
Is there a word of the day?
Do you have a word of today? Word of the day?
Word of the day is just a random word that may relate to the theme.
That relates to what, sorry?
The theme,
The
or
theme of the meeting, or just a word that you like.
yep.
So, I guess since it's spring coming up, we could. I guess I can think of a positive word, which would be blossom. You know, because the flowers blossom during springtime. So, as a grammarian, I'll be looking out for grammar during speeches, as the name suggests, and have to introduce the word of the day, and at the end of the night, give my feedback on the words used during speech. Awesome. That's BLOSSON. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your volunteering. For body language monitor, may I ask Aaron? I know you always do a great job on the body language, commenting everybody's presence online. Would you please take this role?
Okay.
Aaron, thank you. Would you please explain this role to the members?
Oh, sure, no problem. Hello, Toastmasters. Role for body language is actually something unique in online clubs, whereby we actually noticing your positioning of the webcam so that you can better connect with us even through virtual spacing. So body language is actually important, including the gestures, including your positioning, including your lightings, including your background. So we're actually keeping track of every visual that we're seeing and making it the report at the end of the meeting to help you further your goal as a webinar master. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. Next, I would like to introduce our chat monitor, Canon. Canon, please introduce your role. Please explain.
Yeah, as a chat monitor, I'm going to make sure that the chat, the Zoom group chat, is used only for productive purposes, to give feedback to the speaker after the speech is completed, not during the speech, and to provide feedback to all the other people. So I will make sure that the chat is used in the right way. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. In Toastmasters, we pay particular attention about timing. We have our timer today is Rolando Goldman. Rolando, would you please explain your role?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. My duty as a timer, I'll be keeping track of time during each segment of the meeting and provide a report when being called upon. For the timing device, I'll be using some kind of program to flag the timing. I will put up a green. I will then put up yellow. I will put up a red. Then you will have 30 seconds to wrap up. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Rolando. That was excellent signals. Now we are starting the prepared speeches. Our first speaker is William Nelson Thomas Jr., ACG-ALB. William will be speaking on leadership. William has been a Toastmaster for 17 wonderful years. He has served in many club officer roles. Title of his speech is How to Be a Great Leader. Please help me welcome William.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. What is a leader? The definition of a leader is someone who leads with respect, courtesy, and charisma. That reminds me of my very first mentor I had, Richard. Richard was one of the best mentors I had when it came to leadership. He could get anybody to do anything he wanted them to do. He could just talk to you and convince you that you can do it. Even though you didn't believe in yourself, he always believed in you. And he believed in me. And because of him, I took on my first time serving as vice president of membership and club secretary. I was scared. I was nervous. I made many mistakes, but I learned two things from serving as a club leader. One, you must have patience with everybody. Two, you must be able to see things from the other person's point of view. And three, being an officer is not always easy, but it is necessary. And we all should take leadership roles. Whether we believe we can do it or not, we should step up, not back away from it. It is a wonderful time to serve as a club officer. I have served as a club officer many times. President, vice president of education, vice president of membership, public relations, secretary, sergeant at arms. That is my favorite role, sergeant at arms. The sergeant at arms is the crowd mover. And what I mean by that, that's the person that sets the tone for the meeting. That's the person that mixes the ingredients to have a well-run and delicious meeting. I remember the first time I served as sergeant at arms, my fellow Toastmasters. The first time I served it, I had the flag on the reverse side. The stars are supposed to be facing out. I had them facing in. I didn't even know this until one of the members who happened to be a military officer said, William, you have the flag on the wrong side. Oh, man, thank you. And I fixed it right away. We learn from our mistakes. Our mistakes make us better leaders and better teachers. Fellow Toastmasters, I hope I haven't encouraged you. No, I hope I have made you consider serving as a club leader. It has been one of my humbling and great experiences to serve as a club leader. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, William. That was very inspirational. As a club, I feel the energy and encouragement from you. We will have 1 minute evaluation on chat. Please give feedback to William on the chat, publicly or privately. Timer, Rolando, please tell me when 1 minute is up. Thank you.
Isabel?
Yes.
Just forgive me, just a quick point of order. Do we have a evaluator for JaMarr, please?
Oh, sorry. Let me check. I got to check with you. Oh, yeah. Is this, no, okay.
Okay, so I'll be, if nobody wants to volunteer, I'll be happy to volunteer.
Okay, so I don't even know how to pronounce the original.
Dhananjay.
Dhananjay, so he is not here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for reminding me on that. I forgot about that.
Okay, no problem. I'll do JaMarr's speech as well. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries.
That's great. Thank you.
1 minute up, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you. Our next speaker, JaMarr John Johnson, is a member of 5 Toastmasters Club and the president of Coach Masters in Culver City, located in Los Angeles. Today, he comes with his servant's heart as he works on the 20th and final speech on his third path, Visionary Communications, in the New Pathways educational curriculum. He is both leadership development proficient and effective coaching proficient in Pathways. JaMarr's speech entitled Love of the Curve. Homeless is at epidemic level in the Southern California. 5 years ago, when JaMarr was fortunate to be embraced by a network of doers looking to make a difference in the community. Please help me welcome JaMarr John Johnson and his speech, Love for the Curve.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, for that warm introduction. So Love for the Cove is a code word for volunteers who support a nonprofit organization called the Covenant House. The Covenant House has 80 locations in 24 countries around the world. And their mission is to help at-risk teenagers get off of the street, have a warm place to sleep, and have a warm meal to eat, to lure them into a transformational experience where counselors, educators, and mentors help rehabilitate them and reassimilate them into society. Love for the Cove is a thing that is near and dear to my heart. Because when I was a youngster, my mother battled a short stint of homelessness, as she was a battered woman with 2 children and nowhere to go. I remember we spent a few weeks at a battered woman's shelter. Luckily, there were resources there to help her heal her wounds, secure her psyche, and get a job so that she could get back onto her feet. You see, these social safety nets are vital and important to a civilized nation. And our homeless teens are some of the most vulnerable. A recent study showed that women that are homeless have an 85% chance of being sexually assaulted. And a lot of people don't realize that some of these teenagers are homeless because they aged out of the social system. Perhaps they were in foster care until they were 18 years old. And because at that time, there's no more resources available to the family who was taking care of that teen, they're sent out to live on their own. The Covenant House was something that I happened to be fortunate enough to be introduced to. When I moved to Los Angeles from New York City, I had a friend who was a PR representative in the music industry. We were going to lunch one day and I said, you know, as I make these new routes in Los Angeles, it's really important to me to find a civic agency to be a part of. This friend said, hey, you know what? You should check out this place called the Covenant House. I send a few of my clients there to mentor the youth at a music workshop every single month. And I said, oh, that sounds amazing. Sign me up. I'd love to check it out. I was surprised to find these young, talented individuals eager to receive mentorship, looking to experience life at a greater level. And I felt compelled. And for the last 4 years, I just mentored them. Talked about music, we talked about the entertainment industry, and I just tried to give them encouragement. It wasn't until 4 years in that someone asked me if I was going to the Sleep Out this year. And I said, Sleep Out? What's that? Is that like camping? They said, listen, the Sleep Out is the event that helps the Covenant House raise the most money. Today, Covenant House, which has been around for 30 years, started this event called the Sleep Out, in which junior executives and senior executives at various companies and corporations come together and sleep outside for one night, not to simulate homelessness, but to be in solidarity. And this event for the last 10 years has raised over $20 million. I want you to think about what a dollar means to a person who might need some clean socks, or maybe a warm meal, or how about a shoulder to lean on? Every dollar that's raised has a strong impact.
What happened? Did we lost John? Lost?
It looks like it.
Oh, sorry for what happened.
Okay, he's back.
Come back.
There's a saying that even when your phone is on airplane mode, there is a risk that it can be interrupted by a call. We will find a remedy for that one day. But for now, we will roll with the punches. For every $10 that are raised for this nonprofit, gives a kid a warm bed, a meal, and a counselor to guide them through the next opportunity. Last year, I participated in my first sleep out, and we raised $157,000 in a matter of 3 weeks. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Sleeping outside on a cardboard box with a sleeping bag was the hardest night of sleep that I've ever had. But it was also one of the most rewarding nights of sleep that I've ever had, because I got to see the impact on those kids' faces. I got to hear stories of past children who came through this program and are now general managers at a store called Sweet Greens, for example. I got to see how far and wide people who care, how far the reach really went. You see, 30 years ago, a husband and wife came together with a dream and a mission of impacting people. And to this date, they have helped touch over 343,000 children in 80 locations in 24 countries. Love for the Cove, to me, represents the opportunity that each and every one of us has to make a difference in this world in any way that you see fit. If it comes from love, if it's powered with passion, there's a chance that it can impact thousands of people. So this year, as I participate in the Cove, I'm proud to say that 30 of my fellow Toastmasters are joining me on this quest. With a minimum pledge of $1,000 per person, that means we will raise $30,000 in the next 10 days. Some of it will come from companies that we work with who have budgets. Some of it will just be $30 here and $20 there. But 2 years ago, Oprah rehabilitated one of the rooms at the Los Angeles location for the Covenant House. And she invested $40,000. So a secret stretch goal of mine is that our efforts will help us reach that level. And that will mean that I'm on par with Oprah. And I don't say that to brag or to boast. I just say that our dreams, no matter if you're a millionaire, a thousandaire, or a billionaire, can all be achieved with love as the primary driver. So in the words of the current presidential candidate, Marianne Williamson, we will defeat hate with love. And I believe that every teen deserves a warm place to sleep, a warm meal to eat, and a way to get back on their feet. Madam Toastmaster, let's all rejoice with love for the Cove.
Thank you, JaMarr. That was a very powerful speech. Now we have 1 minute's evaluation on the chat. Please give feedback to our speaker, JaMarr John Johnson. Timer Rolando, please tell me when 1 minute is up.
You look so intense.
Time is up, Madam Toastmaster.
Isabel, you're on mute.
Oh, our third speaker is Rainy Ding. This is Toastmaster Rainy's icebreaker speech. She would like to share 3 interesting things about her. She is working on engaging humor, level 1, project 1 icebreaker. Her speech is entitled 3 Things About Me. Please help me welcome Rainy.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Rainy and I love sunny days. And I'm from China, a huge country with different cultures. Today, I'm going to introduce myself to you by sharing 3 things about me, which will represent me in one way or another. So, are you ready? Let's get started. The first thing that I want to share is chili pepper. Yes, chili pepper. So what's about me in this chili pepper? Well, I was born and raised in Hunan province, a place located in the center of China. And what's special about this place? Well, it's famous for its spicy flavored cuisine, which is also known for Xiang cuisine. Every dish here must contain chili pepper. No matter vegetables, porridge, or soup, people would usually add some chili in it. And our food is not only famous within China, but also popular abroad. So if you ever visit the Chinatown in your city, you will discover several restaurants that are serving Xiang cuisine in particular. As a typical Xiang girl, I love chili pepper very much, and any meal without it would be tasteless for me. Also, I love cooking and sharing the food from my hometown to my friends. Another thing about this chili pepper is that people in China usually refer to girls from my province as spicy girls, a short name for girls who love eating spicy food and therefore are very passionate and hot-tempered. Just like an old saying goes in China, every place will breed its own people. Just like the fire in your mouth after eating chili, I am always passionate, enthusiastic, warm, and sometimes maybe a little bit burning. The second thing that I want to show you is this Sailor Moon, a very famous animation from Japan that was playing across China back in the 90s. And I became a die-hard fan of it. I love everything about it, not just because of the pretty and cute faces of the girls, but the charming and handsome prince in it. Just kidding. Most importantly, I love the story of being a fighter with superpower to save and protect the world. Being someone with the ability to help people in need has always been one of my dreams. And it did happen in my dreams for several times, where I became Sailor Moon and I fought against the evil people and won. Justice was served, and the world finally got its peace back, and everybody lived happily ever after, just like my prince and I. Just kidding. I know it's just childhood fantasy. Being a grown-up, I understand that those superpower or magical thing is unrealistic. However, my wish to give a hand to others intensifies. Due to the limited resource and tension, there are many people who are in desperate need of help are forgotten by our society. For example, the homeless people, the ones that are in lack of money for hospitals, and those who are suffering from psychological trauma. My sincerest hope is that one day I might be able to offer my help to them so that they don't lose hope for life. The third thing that I want to share with you is the word failure. Sounds a little bit sad. Yeah, there were bad things happening in my life. And for a very long time, I have considered myself as a failure because I have failed to meet the expectations from my parents and relatives. Despair and depression had once devoured me that I just couldn't stop myself from complaining and grieving every day. Then one day, a friend of mine enlightened me, and I realized I could never escape from my bad luck. if I always hold a negative attitude. Instead, I have to take actions to fight against it. So I started to stay positive and try to seek for the good side in my life. I am a single mother, but I have a very lovely son, and I'm lucky that I have my mom here to help me take care of him. I'm struggling to make my ends meet, but I'm very lucky to work in a company where everyone is so nice and caring for me, and I'm still able to feed my family with my limited salary. Having discovered the beauty in life, I feel less stressed and more enthusiastic in both work and life. I value my past experiences. Sweet or bitter, they're part of me, and I choose to face them in a positive way. Now, with all those good things happening in my life, I believe that I will surely turn my failure into good fortune. So this is me, a girl who loves eating spicy food and chili pepper, and is always holding a dream to become a, a superhero, just like Sailor Moon, to help people in need one day. Moreover, I'm sure that one day I will turn my past failures into future success, and you can do it too. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Woo! Well done.
Thank you very much, Rennie. I love your humor and how you use the prop to enhance the speech. That's great job. And you speak like a long-time Toastmaster. One day I have to ask you how you practice their speech before become a Toastmaster. Now, we will have 1 minute evaluation on chat. Please give feedback on the chat to Rennie. Timer, please tell me 1 minute when 1 minute is up. Thank you.
Time is up, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Randall. This concludes the prepared speech session. I would like to shift into our second part of our meeting, which is table topics. Our table topic is going to be William Thomas. William, please, stage is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Thinking of some topics, some interesting ones I came up with just a few minutes ago. I'm going to give a question, and then I'm going to call on someone. Can I have our timer give the timing for table topics, please?
Sure, Mr. Table Topic Master. At 1 minute, you get the green light. At 1 minute and a half, you get the yellow light. At 2 minutes, you get the red light. Then you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. First question. If you could travel anywhere, where would you want to travel? Toastmaster Aaron Long.
Thank you very much, though. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmaster, if there's one place I want to travel, I want to tell you something. I want to travel to your heart. And that will be the most important element that any public speaker would have. The travel experience to your heart is like a Disneyland. Everyone has a picture in your mind. Just close your eyes and picture the most favorite destination that you want to go. I want to go there with you. Although I'm not that handsome, although I'm not that pretty, but at least I want to be a company to your life. That is the most important variable of the twist of this table topics. Obviously, there are many other practical examples of where I want to go. The next thing that I want to go would be to travel to a vacational place called Spain. And Spain, there are many different cities. And Spain, I would actually definitely pick Malaga, a place whereby there's lots of beach resources and also a nice, fine, relaxing place that no one will find you. No one will find you there. And that's where the city lives up to its name. Whatever happens in Spain, happens in Spain. Whatever that doesn't happen in Spain, try to make that happen. So if you go there and just really enjoy, slowly savor that feelings of food, the culture, the never-ending nightlife, and also, most importantly, the sights. So you can actually slowly digest it and indulge in it. And comparing the experience between the first one to your heart and the second one to a specific city, there's one common item, and that is to slow down and savor those emotions. If you do find a place that you truly want to visualize yourself in, go there. Do not hesitate. Just travel there. You may go broke, but at least your dream lives up high. Your relaxation, your sensation keeps it stronger and stronger every day. So with that in mind, I'll pass the stage back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aaron. Next question is going to be a fill in the blank. If I could change blank, what would I change? Toastmaster Tricia Grow.
If I could change blank, what would I change? Is your question?
Yes.
Okay. I could change anything. What would I change? That is an excellent question. I'm not sure exactly what I've changed because I'm so blessed in my life. I have a loving husband. I have 2 wonderful puppies. I'm able to travel. And I have so many friends all over the world that I get to see every week. And I don't know anyone luckier than me. If I could change one thing, I would steal the first question as to where I would like to go. And I just came back from this place, is Jamaica. My ultimate dream is to be able to spend 9 months out of the year in Jamaica. That's the one thing I would change about my life, is that I could live in Jamaica 9 months out of the year and never have to see snow again. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tricia Grove. Next question. If you could have any favorite food, what would be the food you want to eat? Toastmaster Rolando Goldman.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. My favorite food I would like to eat, if I don't have to pay for it, if it's a gift, then I will choose to get seafood, especially lobster. I will order the biggest lobster, make sure I have the biggest tail. I'll make sure that the sides that come with it have also some shrimps, some crabs, so I can dwell onto the plate, I can enjoy myself. Because I know I don't have to pay for it. I'm a frugal guy. I love seafood. If I go to a restaurant, a lot of time I will order the fish. Once in a while, if I want to please myself, I'm very excited and I have some extra cash, I might get the lobster. But to save money, I always focus on, okay, if fish will please me, well, let me just get the fish. Therefore, I'll save some money. Back to you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Goldman. Next question. You have described a robbery you've just seen, but you have to be able to describe it just using your hands. Describe a robbery you just seen just using your hands. Toastmaster Johnson. Oh, he's good.
What I just described was very, very difficult. And to do that for a minute without speaking has been the most challenging thing of my entire Toastmasters career. So I decided to catch my breath and say a few words, because that was one of the most fun Table Topics questions I've ever received. So thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, for the opportunity. Back to you.
Okay, next question.
Excuse me.
Madam
You're
Toastmaster.
out of time.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you.
what I was about to ask. Are we out of time? That's what I was just about to ask. Please vote for your favorite presenter. And as you do that, I turn control back to our Toastmaster today. Madam Toastmaster, the floor is yours again.
Thank you, William. That was a great table topic session. Very fun questions, and I appreciate all the table topic speakers. That was a lot of fun. And with this, I'm going to shift the meeting into the third part of our, the third part is evaluation. This section is going to be led by our general evaluator, Tricia Grow. Please help me welcome Tricia.
Thank you so much, Isabel. It is my pleasure to lead this session. So first, I will be calling on the evaluators to share their evaluations of our speakers this evening. And our first, and I believe second evaluator are both Nick. Nick, would you please go ahead and evaluate our first speaker?
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. It gives me great pleasure to evaluate William on his speech, which is regarding leadership styles, which is level 2 of pathways. I think in terms of the actual speech, it was very much, rather than leadership styles per se, it was more, for example, the encouragement to be a club officer. So I was intrigued, but also I really wanted to hear about the leadership styles. really good positive message that William brought, a good thing that he did, was to actually give us examples of being a club officer and so on. Sorry, are we on green light already?
No.
Right.
He
Okay,
forgot
so
to reset it, I think.
right. So one of the good things that William did was he gave us the reasons why we should sign up as club officers, what's good about it. And also, the other thing that he did was to actually what it takes to be a good club officer. You need patience. You need to actually take into account other points of view. And also, being an officer is very important and necessary. So he brought a nice triad in there for us. In terms of what William can do better, well, there's quite a lot. Let me limit it to two things. First of all, visuals. William, you have the actual camera now. Place it on the table or somewhere where you can actually look at it, if possible, with eye contact, with the eye level right there. We want to see you when you're speaking. We want to see your hands. We want to see your facial expressions. We want you to go, yes, he was my mentor. I learned a lot from him. And oh my God, what happened was, and just get a little bit more acting in there. Make us feel what you're telling us. And that eye contact and that camera and the visuals and the hand gestures and the facial expressions will really help tell your story. Secondly, I felt as though you really need to concentrate on the leadership style in the content, because the reason for that is it's key to this project. What is your leadership style? What are the different styles? Give us examples of other leadership styles that you've actually encountered. And then what is yours? We really want to know what is yours. So I will recommend that you actually have a think about that and actually, if necessary, do this project again. What about examples outside of Toastmasters where you've shown leadership, and what does that look like? In summary, you've got a lot to say. You always sign up and you're always enthusiastic, and we love you for that. We just want to see you more. We want to see you develop in this environment, the screen here, showing your hands, showing your smile, and really touching us and connecting with us, so that way your message comes across even stronger. Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nick. And to evaluate our next speaker, JaMarr Johnson, I will return the meeting control back to Mr. Nick.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests, love for the Cove. JaMarr, I've got to tell you, man, these 4 words have, I felt, really changed my perception of what good can be done through American politics. Let's put it like that. Now, in terms of the story that you told, it was amazing. Let me have a look and see what I felt that you did really well. Visuals. I already complimented you on the background. I love it. And in fact, one of the members actually mentioned that your lapel pin is the same color. And look, my sweatshirt is the same color. I love it. Really strong. And you look fantastic in front of it. And, it's not all important on how you look. If the content is amazing, you also look good. That's double whammy. Okay? Double impact. So I really commend you on that. Your body language, your facial expressions, the emotion that we saw in your eyes, and that little rasp in the voice, the strength that we saw, it was just truly spot on, very professional, very, very good. Another really great thing that you actually gave was the whole speech in terms of the message. Now, I don't really like to talk about the content too much, but this is really important because in Toastmasters, we learn how to inspire and motivate. You can inspire others and motivate them into action. And I believe that you had that effect for me, at least, and probably for a few others in the meeting today. You had rhetorical questions, you had points, you backed them up. You have a truly powerful delivery style. In terms of what you could have done better, you were too far to your left. You were just off center. It could be a few inches, it could be maybe 6 or 8 inches, but have a look at the video and mark a spot on the floor perhaps to actually make sure you center yourself. And in terms of the actual screen that you have, I was really looking at this in terms of the contest. You say you're going for the contest and this is practice for you. I really would like to see you using the stage. Move with purpose. Do the triads. Move from our left, center, and right so that we feel what you do, what you actually say, but also we remember it better if you actually use those kind of styles. Draw us in, come in closer. There are times when you come out like this and where you are vulnerable and you're with your mom and hiding, or not hiding, you're stuck in a shelter. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and you're scared and you're hiding in a corner like this. So there's all sorts of emotions and body language and voices that you can actually bring out, even some characters. But you can do that managing the stage. Use the stage. That is going to help you get further and further in the contest. And please let us know how you get on. In summary, fantastic delivery. Lots of really good things. Just a couple of things to think about and you'll be great. Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Nick. And I really appreciate you taking over 2 evaluations. And we'll move on to our 3rd evaluator, which happens to be myself. I will be evaluating Rainey's first speech with us at this group, her icebreaker. 3 things about me. Rainey, I was blown away by this speech. You're so energetic and such a huge positive energy just comes from when you speak. I can feel that positive energy just flowing right off of your beautiful smile, the whole way you're speaking. And just have a few things that I saw that I think that we could work on to make your speaking abilities even better than they are now. The first thing is, I'm not sure if it was just because you were nervous or you had so much to share about yourself, but this was a very fast-paced speech. You were just 500 words a minute. I could understand you fine. It just was very fast. So maybe slow down a little bit so we can soak in what you're sharing with us, because we do want to get to know you. And just pause here and there. Let us intake that information. The second thing I'd like to share with you is when you do share a prop, such as your pepper or that piece of paper, hold it for a moment so we can see it clearly, because when you're showing us the pepper or something very quickly, but like that picture of your Sailor Moon, I know what Sailor Moon looks like. Many people who are not in America or follow anime might not know what she looks like. Make sure that it's centered in the camera, that we can actually view it. It was so quick, I could barely recognize it myself. And the third thing, although you might have done this on purpose, is the first time you showed us failure, it was upside down. If it was on purpose, it was hilarious and a good way to introduce humor. But if that wasn't your purpose, make sure that when you show it, that it is upright. Overall, Rainey, it was a very positive, entertaining, and very enthusiastic speech. I got to know a little bit more about you, and I really appreciate that. And I think that if you take a little time to slow down, pause, and also slow down any props that you share with us online, because the camera makes it hard to visualize. Just slow down, make sure it's centered, and that we're able to see what you're trying to show us. Overall, I think you did a wonderful job for an icebreaker, and I cannot wait to see you utilize some of these spots into your next speech. It'll even be better the next time. Now, as general evaluator, it is my job to call upon all our helpers for this evening and see what their reports were. So first, I would like to call our out counter, which is our sleepy president, Aaron Long. Aaron, would you please tell us how we did with our Oz today?
Thank you very much, though, JaMarr Evaluator. For the hour counter report, it's actually short and sweet because as sleepiness actually takes over. No, just kidding. But I do capture most of the people's unnecessary connectives. The most common used unnecessary connectives would be try to avoid the word because it shows that you are very nervous, or maybe you may be thinking that breaking the silence would be the best idea. So we try to prevent the use of the most frequently used person in this meeting will be two person. One is Stefan, which is 4 times, and our evaluator Nick, who used 2 times. Other than that, none of the others have actually used unnecessary connectors. So give a round of applause for everyone's competence in avoiding unnecessary connectors. Back to you.
Thank you, Aaron. And our grammarian, who I believe is Safwan. Oops, you're muted. Can't hear you.
So far, we can't hear you, though. I still can't hear him.
No, we'll come back to you, Safwan. Try and see if you can disconnect. Oh, there you go.
I can read your lips, though, but no, I can't hear you. And I find it strange to read a guy's lips. Just joking.
Okay, I'll come back to Safwan. And I will go to our timer report. Rolando, would you please share our timing for this evening?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. All our speakers qualified tonight, except for William, which was about 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And I posted the results, all the timing reports on the chat in the interest of time. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. And our chat monitor, Kanan.
The chat has been used for the very productive purposes. We could see feedback has been given to the speakers. The speakers have got the right feedback. That's a great way to go. We had a great meeting today. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. I need to be an octopus when I have this many hats on. And am I forgetting anyone? Oh.
No, you have to go back to grammarian, right?
Oh, yes. Sylvan, did you picture sound?
Guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh, great. Thank you, Tricia. So I'm not sure I heard the word of the day used too often today, but that's okay because I acknowledge that it was a difficult one. And if I'm grammarian again, I'll be sure to use an easier one in the future. But overall, I saw that there was good and correct grammar usage. Complete words and sentences were used. JaMarr and Nick in particular used very impactful words and used excellent grammar, which helps to convey the message of their speech and what they're trying to deliver. Rainey also used interesting words. For example, she used failure and fortune. And finally, English is not a lot of the Toastmasters' first language, but that's okay because they did an excellent job. And overall, I'd say that complete and appropriate and right words were used and just great usage of grammar overall. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one last report, which is our video monitor, who is also our very sleepy president, Aaron Long.
Thank you very much. The more you repeat sleepiness, I really need to doze. But when you actually focus on what you're going to do on the screen, every single gestures may mean something. And it depends on our reception. We may interpret it in a very different way. So look at our gallery view. For everyone, just click on the gallery view. You can see lovely smiles, lovely faces, or stern faces. You may affect differently. So when we see people who are positioned really well, I would like to directly comment on three persons that's having a really perfect or near perfect visuals. The first one is JaMarr. And if you look at JaMarr's screen itself, purple color, very nice light contrast, and we can see him very well. The challenge for JaMarr is that during his speech itself, his position like it's raining there. He's standing at the corner. So I would love to see him positioning in the center or maybe walking a bit in front so we can see more of his body gestures wildly. So if we actually stand further behind, yes, we can see everything, but we cannot see too well on your facial expressions. So that will be a challenge. Secondly, when we see Nick itself, Nick is always like a radio broadcaster, always there, have a nice headset, and I love his bed. The coloring is actually a nice contrast there. Most importantly is that his facial expression is something for JaMarr to learn from, but Nick can learn from JaMarr in terms of sitting a bit backwards, a bit further, so that we can actually see more of his hands. So that when he actually did his presentation, the few times I see his hands was actually like nearly blocking the camera. So that will be one challenge for Nick to actually show a bit distance. At least I can see whole of your hands. So we can actually do the practice. If you see your hands that fits the wall or your screen, you're perfectly fine. But if you're actually seeing like this means you're too close. If you're seeing like this, even your sleeves, it means you're too far. Next, we see William. Definitely improvement for William. Challenges for William. I love the lightings. I love the camera. It positioned really well. Challenge for William. During his speech, you notice that his background will be on the fan. The fan was rolling a few times, and it was pretty dark. It's like the darkness slowly clouds his room. So challenge for William, don't move too much. Focus on one place unless you're walking. Like if I'm walking to my work, it's a different story. But at home, position at the nice benchmark so you can look at it at eye level. I love how Adrian actually always have a different contrast today on his screen. On her screen, if you notice, on the door itself, it shows a nice mild reflection of the door light up there. It shows that it's perfectly well because I can see most of her face and also the light reflection, so that it shows the contrast. So if you're actually having troubles with the lightings, try to see how Adrian and Nick works. Those are perfect examples. For JaMarr, that is studio purpose or for contest speeches. So if you want to go for that, go for those elements. Finally, I would like to comment on Matt and also, let me see. Yeah, Matt. Mainly Matt, though. The reason why is because Matt actually did a really nice job. If you actually look at his screen right now, I can see it perfectly. But when he moved his face closer to the screen, Matt, try to move closer to the screen. You see that lighting? Yeah, it's like the white shines over there slowly. It overpowers that visual or body gestures of Matt. So that will be a really sensitive point that if we want to practice more often, either put the lightings a bit further away so we can still see you more comfortably. Now I can't see you. Now you become a ghost. So the situation is about, position slightly further or you are sitting a bit better. So that will be the two options for you. And finally, blossoming. We are definitely blossoming with the improvements of web technology. So I hope to see you more often. Finally, for our guest, Nisar, I love how he changed his view now. I like that there's a tiny glow, like he's the angel coming from the heavens. You can see the lightings there. But if it doesn't block it, yes, just not what happens. It reflects too much. And it's better than the position on that compared to the sofa level. So that will be all for my evaluation. And I also like to acknowledge that Darren, I love your background as usual. It shows life there. It shows your habits and it shows how much you've grown in there. You know, Darren's screen actually shows his entire life in his room, just because of the arrangements. I can literally read his live there. So pictures speak louder than words sometimes. So back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Aaron. I'll now give a general evaluation of the entire meeting. We did have some difficulties today, most likely because of our wonderful US system of daylight savings time. So just remember, for the next few months until we change again, we'll be meeting 1 hour earlier than normal. And I thought, other than that, we did succeed to fill the roles necessary for Isabel to run this meeting effectively as a Toastmaster. So thank you for everyone, especially Nick, for jumping up and fulfilling more than one role. And I thought that it was a very wonderful meeting. We had 3 really great speakers. We had fun table topics. And I think we all got to know each other a little bit better. And we have 2 great evaluators on 3 evaluations. And we both used the cookie method, which is the preferred method of Toastmasters, where we gave something positive, we gave a room for improvement, and then left with a word of encouragement. So just continue to practice this type of evaluations when it's your turn next time. I will now launch our polls for this evening and hand the meeting over to our president, Aaron Long.
Much so, thank you very much. So I love the poll. It always shows a reflection of how much we have grown, and also sensing the feelings of true thoughts. So when you actually do the poll, feel free to fill it in. If you have any questions, like if you actually click on how do you enjoy today's meeting, just click on the side box. There's a circle box, click on it. If you do not enjoy, please remember to private message me so that I can really help to deal with the problem, specifically on a one-to-one basis. But don't worry, I'm not that scary. I'm really chill, friendly, although I feel sleepy. Just kidding. But everyone actually plays a very important role in this club. So feel free to vote first. I have to vote too.
Excuse me, I think we got a couple names wrong on the facilitator.
Yeah, I think we have to edit the facilitator part.
So how are we gonna send, because table master is William and evaluator is Tricia.
I think that we can still stick with the role takers, because the role takers actually take will represent who the winner will be. So if I see the time, if I see the Toastmaster, or no, if I see the general evaluator as William Thomas, and people vote for general evaluator, I will actually give it to Tricia. Same thing like.
I apologize. I thought I had updated them all.
No worries. I did make the mistake last week, so let's keep improving. So people's choice, we always have a people's choice, so that we want to value all our ex-cons for their behind-the-scenes work. Okay, in the meantime, while people are waiting, I will make some quick announcements, club announcements, and club business announcements. First of all, for XCOM, we are having a meeting on 2 weeks from now. For all our committee members, please note that we are having the meeting, a committee meeting 2 weeks from now. Just an early notification.
What time, Mr. President?
30 minutes before the meeting starts. So because now that I have to wake up like 1 hour earlier now, so it's like 30 minutes before the 7:30 benchmark, so 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock Eastern Standard. Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern time. Yep.
Time. Yeah.
And to remember that we are having our online hate speech contest next week. Okay. All members who are paid members are perfectly eligible to join it. It doesn't require you to. Harry, you may have to mute yourself, Harry. So remember that the point about the online contest is that anyone can join as long as you're a paid member. And most importantly, I will highly recommend 2 tips as a past contestant is 1, get a nice decent camera just for that occasion, or maybe use your phone if you think that your phone is better than the webcam. 2, have perfectly stable Wi-Fi. If you have Wi-Fi disruptions and it will actually distract it, is a 1 tick. I love how JaMarr actually gives the emotions. but the point is that it's really important for you to know that it's 1 tick. Remember, there's only 1 tick. We cannot redo it again. So when we actually do that recording itself, please make sure that there's no drop off. Otherwise, even if you win in a club and we send you over, we will not be able to guarantee you will be able to stand out from the rest of the crowd because of your disruption. So that will be the second point. Final tip for everyone to note is that please put a nice audio. Usually learn from Nick. You can see Nick has a nice, perfectly nice headset. If you don't have the headset, this will do as well. But one final suggestion is that if you have people or kids running around, please try to tell them that they can be part of the props or they can just add the fun in the video. Just like what Bethany did last year. So yeah, those are my 2 tips for you to actually...
Mr. President, can I just mention, the agenda is up and people can sign up to do a speech or to be help with the timing or counting or other things as well. So keep an eye on the agenda. It may change. We may add in another couple of roles on there, but please sign up. And we can't do the contest without all of these people doing all the other jobs. Okay, yep. So it's really important.
So, President, I think that there is a minimum qualification for the contestants. I think they have to complete 6 speeches, correct?
No.
Not for the
It's
video
only for international speech. The videotape speech contest is for still a paid member. It's just like evaluation contest or table topics. You just have to be a paid member. That's all. No worries. It's good to clarify. So final thing to really remind everyone is that for the text speech contest, if you are joining for the contest, please send to our contest chair. Guess who is our contest chair? For those who do not know or try to have a guess. For those who know, definitely keep your silence first. Anyone knows who your contest chair is? It's definitely not Tricia. JaMarr, you can.
Cheryl, right? Cheryl Poirier, right?
Yep. So remember to contact her, send her an email about your intention to join as a contestant, and she will assign you. If you're looking for a facilitator role or a judge role, also approach her. Do not tell me because I'm going to join as a contestant. Do not tell me. Otherwise, you DQ me as well. So please don't tell me. Yeah, so about the most important element is that we do need your help to make this contest a success. If you're interested in how to run an online contest behind the scenes, please join our facilitator team. That will bring you so much up to the notch of how to be a better, competent speaker online. So now it's the time whereby we will have the poll as a click. We have a magical hand that clicks on the poll and it shows 85% awesomeness. Great job. And there's an okay, fine part. Please make that okay, fine part. Please just private message me and see how okay it is, so that we can actually just improve on further. Don't worry, I don't bite as I mentioned. We want to keep on improving. So favorite prepared speaker, cue drum rolls. We have double winner today. We have Rainey and JaMarr. Give a round of applause. So first of all, we always hear comments from our winners. So JaMarr, can you unmute yourself and share your thoughts?
Well, I would like to first of all say thank you to those of you who voted for me, and it's an honor to be able to grace the stage with Rainey, who had one of the most incredible icebreakers that I've ever witnessed. My speech today was a impromptu speech, and I wanted it to come off as like a commercial, as a sales pitch, because I think it's important that we advocate for those who are in need. So thank you, Mr. President, for your feedback. And I hope you guys all enjoyed my sales pitch to help the Covenant House of California.
Thank you very much, though. Give a round of applause. Just before we move on to Rainey, just to answer Harry's question, why could we not vote? Because I think you're using a phone call in or something. But if you're using a laptop, usually you should see the poll, or a phone, you actually see the poll, as long as you're using an iPhone 4 and above. Yep, phone can vote. Next, can we welcome Rainey? See you, Rolando. Yeah, please share your winning thoughts.
Yeah, JaMarr, I voted you. So, I'm very thankful for everyone, and I received many help from members here like Nick, Isabel, and my mentor Aaron, and really thank for all of your help here. And I think I can do better. I'm still a little bit nervous today because this is my first time I look directly to the camera. I'm not so used to it. So I don't know how people is responding. So I was a little bit nervous that my joke might not be interesting or funny. So I think I can do better next time. Thank you. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you very much, though. Give a round of applause again for a wonderful icebreaker speech and a wonderful sales commercial. Next, where's the poll? It's gone. Okay, it's there. Okay, so next we have the favorite table topic speaker. Let's give a round of applause to our double winner, JaMarr, again. Share your winning thoughts for the table topics. It's a different speech now.
That was one of the most enjoyable table topics questions I've ever received. I want to thank our leader here for challenging me. Now, I do have some acting training, and I am a professional stand-up comedian, but thankfully, I'm not a performer in the times like Charlie Chaplin in a just completely silent movie. That is a skill within itself. And it actually inspired me to actually look into see if there are some mime classes or something, because gestures are an important part of our communication skills. And there are studies that show that about up to 80% of what we actually transmit when we're communicating is nonverbal. It's our gestures, it's our energy that we're emitting. And so, as a person who's pursuing speaking professionally, I want to do everything that I can to improve all aspects of my communication so they're congruent and so that I can have the most impactful message as possible. So thank you all for voting for me. I had a lot of fun doing that. I can't wait to see the replay because obviously I couldn't see myself. I was just doing it. The camera, I didn't have the ability to see myself. So I'm looking forward to seeing that video on the replay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, just to answer Harry's question, can we have a decline to vote option? Well, basically it's abstaining, so some people may not vote. It can be happening on the situation, but we highly recommend people to vote. Next, we have the favorite evaluator, drum rolls. We have Tricia, that won the double nicks. Give a sharing of your winning speech.
Thank you. We're our 50-50 shot. No, I appreciate your votes for me as a evaluator. It's a skill that you have to build upon, and it's taken me almost a year and a half from my joining Toastmasters before I really understood how to do evaluation. So it's a skill. You just have to continue doing it over and over again, and then you will be able to become better at it as well. Back to you.
Thank you very much, though. Next, we have the favorite facilitator. So next time, if you really want an award, this is definitely nearly confirming that you will be promised an award. Give a round of applause to Isabel. The most hardworking individual in the whole meeting for facilitation. Share your thoughts about your winning.
Oh, thank you. I think I really want to thank everybody helping me to do this job. When I come to the meeting, I wasn't sure how many roles I haven't filled out. I had to ask ask Nick to help me to find the backups, and I really think it's I think Tricia kind of set this thing up. I think if Tricia had correctly put her name as the general evaluator and William Thomas as topics master, and the vote will be very different. Well, anyway, but thank you for voting for me, and back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, though. Finally, we have the people's vote. So the hardworking behind the scenes award goes to Nick. Give a round of applause to Nick. Yay. Please share your thoughts about your winning.
I don't think it's a win for me. I think it's a win for the club because everybody gets together and helps each other out. My apologies that what actually happened was that Isabel and myself and Tricia and whatever, between us, we managed to just miss out one or two people like Matt. I think so one or two people just sort of missed out. But the really important thing is, the lesson from this is, please come early, please sign up early, and take full part. It's your club, Mr. President.
So, I have to quote our dear Sunny's phrase that is really, really inspirational. Whatever the team works, our dream will work. Although I rephrase it slightly. But she always says it in a very passionate tone.
It's actually teamwork makes the dream work.
My wordings, my sleepiness taking over me. So finally, the last most important role or award will be the President Award. So as President not Trump, as President Aaron, I will actually give a President Award to the most improved member in the whole club. So first of all, I would love to give drum rolls, please, to the most improved award today. Goes to, slowly and steadily, I want to give it the award to Rainy, though. I have to ask her to stop the video. The most important thing why I would like to give the award to Rainy is because if you notice, for the past few meetings, she doesn't have makeup. Okay, that's not the most important element. Now, the most important element is that she is daring to try things. And I love that spirit, and that spirit actually brings a lot of motivation to our club itself. Is showing an example that as long as you're willing to try, we're able to support all the way. And you're trying, even if you fail, remember, failure is just only the part of bigger success. So give a round of applause for Rainy for making a great effort in bringing the element to a next stage. So I'd like to hear from Rainy about her thoughts on winning.
I'm very honored, and I don't know how to say. I'm very excited. Yeah, I lose my words.
No worries. Let it sink in. Okay. So
Actually, if I can just say, Mr. President,
go on.
Rainy, what she did was, she's been to the club, she's been ahead of the curve. She hasn't waited for other people to help her. She's taken help, and she's been open-minded, but she brings a lot to the table, and she is naturally amazing in this environment, and I keep telling her that. So really, she deserves everything she got today, and she was amazing. Thank you.
Irene, I have to second that. You know, if there's a Robert's rule, let's do a seconding motion, shall we? That's kidding. I definitely do not want to put Robert's rules here. For those of you who are actually interested in Toastmasters, we have a Robert's rules, and we do second motions. We have the third motion. No, we don't have third motions. We second it. And that's how it actually brings the vibe. So really, we can see lots of members in our club blossoming like the finest flowers and grass. For guys, usually we call ourselves grass. We don't call ourselves as flowers because grass are a great accompaniment to our lovely ladies at the side. But great job of everyone in making sure that this meeting is a success. Kudos to Tricia, and most importantly as well to Kananis, because he accompanied me to be typing going to sleep shortly. I would love to pass the mic to Kanan for the first one. The reason why is very simple, because of our upcoming renewal fee. So I'd like to have Kanan, our treasurer, to talk about the renewal fee.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think that we need the renewal. We need to renew immediately. I think some of you have already renewed. This renewal will take you until the end of September. This is for 6 months. Our club fees is $50.25. Please go to our club website and please renew your membership.